I'm really regretting having that painted on my wall. Seemed like a good idea when I was 16. Um, yeah, I don't know where to start with that. Um, so let's start with the result. Brighton 2, Arsenal 1. Brighton have done the double over us. All credit to Graham Potter. Phenomenal job he's done with Brighton and what he did with Ostersons as well. But we're not here to talk about Brighton. We're here to talk about Arsenal, and it was once again spineless. This team is so frustrating to watch. We are so far off of where we expect ourselves to be, and I think it's going to be an awfully long time before we get back to where we want to be, challenging for league titles. It feels like we're a decade away from that. It honestly feels like we are so many years away from that being a realistic possibility. It seems like we're years away from even getting into the top four. The league feels irrelevant now. It really, really does. All we've got to play for is Europa League football in the Premier League. But I don't want that, to be brutally honest with you. I don't think another season in the Europa League is going to do this club any favours, apart from, okay, financially, it's a boost there. But if financial fair play is being squashed for the next 12 months, then surely if Stan Kroenke is to invest in the team, then losing out on Europa League football isn't the burden that that some might perceive it to be. So I honestly don't think qualifying for the Europa League is going to do this club any favours in the long run. I really, really hate that competition, and I don't want to see Arsenal in it at all. I think a year out of any European football, getting this club restructured back together. We saw what it did to Chelsea a couple of seasons ago when they were going through a really tough point. We're miles off of where Chelsea were at that point as well. We're an awfully long way away. This goes a lot deeper than the players in the team, because I still don't think we've got bad players. In fact, I think we've got some very good players. It's just this cultural shift that's going to take an awful lot of time, and you can still see the same mistakes that have been embedded in the Arsenal team for the past 15 years or so. It's just characteristic of this club. It's going to take so much more than a couple of signings to get Arsenal back to, as I say, where we expect us to be. But we've got to be realistic. We're not a top four club. We're not a Champions League club. We are mid-table fodder for this season at the very least. And as much as I hate to say that, we've got to be real with ourselves. We've got to be real with ourselves, because there's no point going into games like today and expecting us to put in a really good performance and to win 3-4-0. We did some very good things today, but we're not capable of beating teams like this 3 or 4-0. 5-6 years ago, yeah, okay, I would have expected us to go to Brighton and win quite comfortably, but now I don't expect us to go away from home, play at home against any team whatsoever, and win a game comfortably. That's just a sad reality of supporting Arsenal at the minute. I mean, going into this game, I did expect a lot more from what I saw against Manchester City. Still think there were positives to take from that City game. The opening 30 minutes or so before what happened with David Luiz, obviously, I thought we were pretty decent. And I thought we could probably take those positives into today's game. But I completely sympathise with Mikel Arteta when he said he wanted to wipe that game off the hard drive and start afresh today. And I was excited by the lineup he played with Pepe, Lacazette and Aubameyang leading the line. It was very attacking, very fluid. The midfield is still dreadful. Saka, Guendouzi, Ceballos is not a good midfield three. And Ceballos is a player that is really, really inquisitive. I'm not sure I can work him out at all. I'm not sure if he's good. I'm not sure if he's bad. But I certainly wouldn't be paying the £40 million asking price that Real Madrid are offering, are asking for, demanding, because I don't think he's shown enough to warrant a £20 million price tag, if I'm being honest with you. Very frustrating player, but also a very nice player to watch at times. Good to see Rob Holding back in the team. I thought for the goal that we conceded, the first one by Lewis Dunk, it was unfortunate from him. And I think this is where we've got to differentiate between being unfortunate and just being characteristically bad, as someone like David Luiz is in those incidents. I mean, Rob Holding hasn't played for God knows how long, coming back from a long-term injury, had been on and off with injuries this season, and I will give him the benefit of the doubt for this game, whereas Luiz makes those kind of mistakes on a kind of daily basis. So I was impressed. I was encouraged by Rob Holding's performance, but I still think, again, he's a player that we can do better than. Mustafi again was good today, but again, a player that we can do better than. We need to definitely upgrade in the defensive department, and today it just echoed why we need to do that. I don't want to talk about individuals, to be honest. Great goal by Pepe to open the scoring, but then we invited pressure from Brighton. I don't know why we did that, because we were so on top of the game at that point. We had fantastic chances to score. Lacazette should have had a hat-trick in this game. Aubameyang had a couple of good chances on goal. The link-up between Aubameyang and Lacazette was fantastic. But soon as we scored, we just laid off. We let them get back into the game so easily. Ceballos, I thought, was pretty cowardly on the goal, to be honest, just allowing the move to happen so easily. And then, of course, Maupay, who was the real villain in today's game, finishing it off to make it 2-1. Just absolute implosion, as we've seen from Arsenal so often over the years. But relating to that Leno incident, it's another one of those challenges. I don't know if you remember quite a few years ago when Arnautovic pushed Debuchy when the ball had just gone out of play, and that kind of went unpunished, and it resulted in a really career-ending injury, at least at Arsenal, for Mathieu Debuchy. And this is hopefully it's not as serious as the one Debuchy incurred, but it's again another unnecessary challenge, another one that's gone unpunished. Maupay didn't even get a card. He's gone on to score the winning goal. Again, it's reckless, it's unneeded, but I think Rio Ferdinand, I really do find myself struggling to agree with Rio Ferdinand, but on this occasion I am. It's one of those challenges that 9 times out of 10 happens in a game. We don't even talk about it. We don't even notice it because, you know, on another day, Leno falls on maybe his sides. He gets straight up, throws the ball out, starts another passage of play. But today he's fallen awkwardly. It seems to be some sort of hyperextension on his knee, which could result in a year-long injury. Unfortunately, it looks similar to what happened to Kurt Zouma for Chelsea, which was a horrific injury. And he's been our best player this season. Credit to Emi Martinez, thought he was really good when he came on, but Leno he's one of a kind. He's a fantastic goalkeeper, and he's got every right to have a go at Maupay when he was going off, because it's again an unnecessary challenge. Maupay, I don't believe it's intentional. I don't think he's going in there with the intention of thinking, oh, I'm going to give Leno a potentially not career-ending but 12-month injury, perhaps. It's unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate, but it's something that happens in a lot of games. But it is unnecessary, and Maupay is in the wrong. Can't believe he didn't get a card. I thought Atkinson, oh my God, dreadful today. Absolutely dreadful. Their number 8, Basuma, did he even get a card? He made so many really poor challenges in this game. They slowed the game down at every opportunity. They frustrated us throughout the match, and they beat us. Yeah, there's not much else to say. As I say, we're a mid-table team at the minute. That's where we are. That's the reality of the situation, and we're a long way off where we need to be. But I'm looking forward to the FA Cup against Sheffield United, because that's all we've got to play for this season. That's all we've got to play for. The league, I've completely lost interest in it. And the next time there's a break on football, hopefully it's a little bit longer than 3 months, because, yeah, I've not missed this. I've not missed this feeling at all. 2 games, 2 defeats. Football's been back 4 days. We've got about 3 got to stop saying that. We've got about 3 season-ending injuries. Yeah. Arsenal are back. Let me know your thoughts in the comments box below. Drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you soon. See you later, guys.